Good Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you might be.
Hey.
Victor, your video, man, is all jank.
I did only with you.
Really? Okay.
I
For people that are
mean,
watching.
I had a stream yesterday.
Yeah.
And it worked.
So if anybody's watching, which I know there's some people watching live right now, in the chat, tell me if Victor's video looks weird. Like it's choppy, because that's what it looks like here.
Do the intro, I'll restart just in case. This is browser only.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so Victor's going to run away for a minute. Hi, once Victor's back, we are the co-host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox that comes out on Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern. And on Fridays when we're around, we do this show, which is usually every week. But again, for the rest of this year, we'll be here every Friday, except for the day after Christmas, which is December 26th, which is a Friday this year. So it's good to see everybody. Thanks for all the comments saying that, yes, the video is choppy. Yes, that's good. Oh, it was also choppy yesterday. We'll tell him that when he gets back. I've told him this many times. I don't understand why he doesn't listen to me. I don't know. And if it's taking him this long to reboot a browser, something else is going on his machine. We'll see what he says. How's everybody's past couple of weeks been? We were off last week, mainly for me. There you are. Now see, that's better. They said your video was choppy yesterday too.
I shut down Docker. I don't know whether that helps.
Nope, it's still choppy.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to do it offline at some point. We'll see. What else could it be? Because we know you have good internet. Actually, runfast.com real quick while we're talking. I know that's going to use up a little bit. And make sure you go into the upload. Yeah, that's the Netflix testing tool.
Runfast.com. Okay, yeah.
Just fast.com. No, just fast.com.
Fast.com, okay.
FAST.com. Sorry, everybody, we're doing some live debugging here.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll find out.
Okay, so but you're only going to see the download. So you have to click on more info to see the upload.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, for people watching and listening right now, is Victor's audio lower than mine? That's going to be the next question.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I know it's not anymore because I can hear the change. Yeah. Okay. In this case, we're
95.
95. Dude, there's something going on with your setup. We've got to figure out what's going on. Anyway, lots of stuff to talk about this week. There was this little conference that happened in Las Vegas. Just, 70 or 80,000 of your closest friends all got together.
Yeah. The conference where startups find out whether they will continue or be killed.
Yes, which we're going to get into. They say you're a little too loud right now, so bump it back down to a little bit, split the difference or something. That's probably better. I actually just had a phone call come in that I have to go take. So let me figure out what's going to go on. I'll check it in a minute. I'll check it on a break when you start rambling in a few minutes.
Okay.
Because there will be rambling occurring very quickly. Let's just do a quick review of the podcast over the past couple of weeks. Stop reinventing the wheel using Dapr instead. We have Mark Fussell on from Dapr.
Mm-hmm.
And then this week, when AI tools go rogue, which was just me and you, which leads me to the first announcement from AWS Reinvent, which was that little conference that was going on. When AI tools go rogue, and they announced their AWS DevOps Agent. Go.
I don't know what it is. How can I go? Where can I go? I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what it is. We're excited to launch. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to the blog because the blog gave us more information. So it's they're defining new terms now. Frontier agent. Okay, a frontier agent. Do you want to know what a frontier agent is? You've heard of frontier models, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I know my video is messed up. I don't know what's going on with my camera today. It's just, let me see if I can reset it here real quick. Because I'm looking like sick. I'm okay right now, but then I'll get very yellow. A frontier agent is autonomously, massively scalable AI agents that work for hours without requiring intervention. It's a new class of AI agents.
Okay.
Autonomous systems that work independently to achieve goals, scale massively to tackle concurrent tasks, which maps to spending a lot of money, and run persistently for hours or days without intervention. Okay, basically it's running all the time. They announced 3. They have a Kiro autonomous agent, which is their developer tool, a security agent, and a DevOps agent. Those are the 3 they announced.
Okay.
But let's look at, so Kiro makes sense as a developer. You just code all day long. Whatever.
Yes.
No big deal.
Yes.
A security agent, that's good. You get somebody running around making sure that everything's fine.
Yes.
Here's the DevOps agent. So they're talking about production incidents, they blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here's how you get started with it. You connect it to your existing tools. It works with CloudWatch. Funny enough, they put it in the front. Datadog, Dynatrace, New Relic, and Splunk for observability.
Okay.
They integrate with GitHub Actions and GitLab CI/CD.
Nice.
You can bring your own MCP server, which they also talked about. They've got fully managed MCPs right now. We won't get into that much. And then you can also integrate Prometheus and Grafana in, along with configuration with PagerDuty and ServiceNow. It's a pretty darn good stack.
Yeah.
Now,
so
at this point,
this is mostly focused on remediation, I'm guessing.
Correct. And at this point, it is not doing anything. It's not doing any updates or anything. It's just giving you what's going on right now. Like in preview, it's not actually doing the work.
Okay.
But once they give us the ability to do the work, what do you think is going to happen?
It will mess it up until you configure it correctly.
And then
that's my guess.
Well, okay. So let me ask this. Do you think AWS is using this already live in their environment?
There must be, yeah.
Okay. That's what I would expect, right? That's what I'd want.
Okay. And they're not?
I don't know. I would have to assume.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that to us public people, the ability to have it remediate for us automatically is off for now. But I imagine inside the 4 walls for themselves, they've probably been running it for a while.
I suspect, and I don't know the tool, so I haven't used it. I'm guessing here. It will not. There must be some kind of setting where you define what should be remediated automatically and what should be provided to you as a suggestion for remediation that you then either approve or you execute yourself. Right? That's my guess. That would be my requirement if I would be designing that thing. And if that's the case, then that's the correct path, because that means that it enables you to change those settings over time, right? Because what I would expect, what I would do as a potential user of the tool that I don't know much about yet is, okay, you do nothing. You don't remediate yourself anything. You just analyze problems. Mm-hmm. You provide suggestions of the solutions of those problems. I review them. I apply them. And then when I discover that for certain problems, you've been giving me correct suggestions X times, I will let you do that by yourself, right? I feel that would be the path that I would take, that many companies would take as well. It's similar, like, when you hire somebody and you say, let's say you're a developer, right? Everything you do will have to be peer reviewed before it's merged to main. And then over time you say, you know what? Joe still needs to be peer reviewed, but Michael, he's been doing a good job. If nobody reviews his stuff, he can still merge it, right? Let's say a day later or whatever. Because you gain confidence over time. So if that's what he's doing, then yeah, I think that's the path. If that's not what he's doing, if it just fixes stuff, then that's unacceptable. I mean, at least I don't trust anything yet. You need to prove to me that you're worthy not to be supervised. You're muted.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you. It gave me a time to call my person back. while you were. I have no idea what you said, so I'm just going to have to agree with you real quick.
The gist of it is, I want those stuff to give me suggestions what I should do, and over time I will gain confidence and let it do more and more by itself. Right? Depends on the level of confidence I get. How many times you screw up, just like people.
Yep. I actually had one ear in, so I did hear you, but I wasn't paying attention. So I'll put it this way.
As usual.
Yeah. I'm usually just looking ahead, seeing where we're going next. So let me. I didn't talk about this at the beginning because you were rebooting. So this morning, my sister lives in New York, and she has a place out and away. So like how you have your secret place, she has her secret place. Her secret place today was -1 Fahrenheit, which maps to -12 centigrade.
So did she do it willingly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not today, but the rest of the
Some
week.
people enjoy it. I mean, I know many people that could never live where I live because it's too warm. It's fine, just not me.
Yeah, no. But anyway, I had to bring that out because I haven't seen below 0 Fahrenheit in a long time in the continental U.S.
Imagine, picture two photos, right? One is a person in snow with 3 jackets. Another person is in a pool drinking margarita or juice, if you're not into margaritas. Which picture feels better?
For you, it's definitely the one on the right. I would probably lean that way as well. But anyway, let's just come back over this. So that was one of the announcements. There is a blog post. I have not posted this into the YouTube video yet. By the way, we're still doing this double streaming where we're doing portrait and landscape. I don't know. Did you both yesterday too? I didn't even look at yours yesterday.
I did both. I haven't looked at them. It's just very confusing for me. Yeah.
We'll probably do it this month and then take a look at it and decide if we're going to keep doing it. But anyway, there is a page, top announcements of reInvent. That they give you all the top stuff. They talk about this, like top AI thing was Nova 2 Sonic, our new speech-to-speech model.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't really care about speech. Unless this is really how they're going to fix what's underneath. Sorry, I'm going to say I'm not going to say the A word, but the A word from Amazon. Like the little pucks and everything else. I don't want to set it off in case anybody has it. A bunch of S3 stuff. All the stuff was compute, new Graviton 5, which is their new CPU. They've got some new. We'll get into some of the container-based stuff in a minute, database stuff and whatever. Okay. So let me call out the ones that I thought were interesting that don't always show up there. So EKS introduces a provisioned control plane.
Yeah. The pricing seems to be insane, though.
Let's take a look at it. I haven't looked at it yet. 10 cents per cluster per hour? Oh, wait, that's control plane.
There is...
Sorry. Here's control plane. Sorry, my bad.
No, I was referring to they introduced, you can now run managed CRO and few managed services inside those clusters.
That's something different. Yeah, I've got that too.
Yeah, okay.
Up. Yeah. So that one, the other one was, I think the next one was, EKS and ECS, fully managed MCP servers. Okay, sure, why not?
Nice. I mean, where are you going to run MCP servers if not in EKS or, unfortunately, ECS?
Yeah. But ECS now has an express mode. So to me, this is their answer finally to Google Cloud Run. All you have to do is give it a container.
Yeah, I just don't understand why it's still ACS. But yeah, go on.
Okay, that's fine. ECR supports managed container signing, image signing. Okay.
Nice.
Security incident response now offers metered pricing with free tier. So used to, it was insane of how much it costs. Now you can get first 10,000 findings per month, even on the free tier. There's no reason to not do this now, I think, if you're running in the free tier.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And I think, this is one that was before. This is when we did our show last, there were things starting to start trickling out for reInvent. Like the stuff that wouldn't make reInvent normally.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of CPU announcements and just stuff. But this was one because they said we're going to kill off CodeCommit. You remember that we talked about this probably a month
Remind
ago.
me, what is CodeCommit?
That's their Git repository.
Okay,
service.
okay.
Right. And this was, remember we talked probably about a month ago, you probably don't, about the things that were getting ready to be tombstone from AWS. Right.
Yeah.
This was one of them.
Okay.
And I guess somebody screamed loud enough, just like, hey, look, no, we still use that. Which I have to admit, okay, maybe not for my full development, but I can see using CodeCommit in a GitOps, I'm using that term very loosely at this point, not real GitOps, within AWS if I'm fully within AWS.
I just never met a person using it. Never. Have you ever met a person using it?
I have. I've used it before too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't mean I kept using it, but everything's internal at that point, right? I'm inside their four walls. That's the reason why I liked it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let me see. So it's going to keep going. Now, like everybody else, they're now going to spend more money to build more data centers. Gee, go figure.
Those figures, my brain does not even register. I don't even know anymore is it a lot? Is it too little? I don't even know. It's kind of billions, trillions now. Nobody understands what the heck is going on.
I think it's just, that's how much you spend. That's how much you announce you're going to spend now. That's just the number.
Yeah, it's just that the figures are so high that I was trying to think, is this a lot or is this not enough? I don't know, 50 millions anymore. What does that buy you?
I don't know. I'm going to get you some of the commits. Here's the capabilities. This is what we were talking about. Or what you were talking about a minute ago. Argo CD, AWS controls for Kubernetes, whatever it is, and Kube Resource Orchestrator.
Yep.
So what are they? Okay, Argo CD, we know what that is. That's easy. ACK is popular with enterprise platform teams and production environments.
That's basically Kubernetes controllers operator, CRDs that you can use to manage AWS resources from Kubernetes. And CRO would be similar to cross-plane compositions, how you can create your own APIs and decide what happens when somebody applies it.
What's your feeling on this? Does it makes sense, right?
It makes perfect sense for them to do it. Actually, I think that they are late to the party. Not with those specific tools, but in general, GKE and AKS, Azure, give you those things for a while now, right? Kind of just say yes to enable whatever, right?
Okay. Got it.
Now, I don't think that they offer it as managed in terms of, I'm guessing that AWS charges this and gives you support for this. It's not kind of like just easy way to install it. I understood that they manage per applications, like in case of Argo CD. So
pricing, it says there are no upfront commitments or minimum fees, and you only pay for the EKS capabilities and resources that you use.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see what that says.
Yeah.
Okay, so auto mode capabilities. Here we go. So base is 3 cents an hour. The actual usage is a tenth.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to calculate how much this ends up on an average enterprise, but basically they charge you for having Argo CD,
yes,
plus for using it probably per CD application, right?
Yeah.
And I must assume that that's because of support, because this is open source Argo CD. So kind of if I'm charging you, I'm hopefully not charging you only so that you don't execute Helm install Argo CD, right?
Yeah. The other thing too is, so if you look at just the base charge at roughly almost 3 cents an hour, notice how much more expensive that base charge is as compared to the base charges for Crow and ACK. I mean, those are cheap. I mean, 5 times cheaper if I'm doing my math right.
A lot cheaper. Yeah. I guess because Argo CD is adopted by everybody, and probably they're more interested in people adopting ACK and CRO which are their projects, than earning money from it.
Isn't it a lot less, though, to manage? Wouldn't you imagine Ack and Crow are a lot cheaper to manage than Argo CD?
I mean, the base installation, probably ACK is harder because you need to install a bunch of, couple of hundred CRDs and controllers and what's not. But then to manage, you're probably going to have many more instances of resources for ACK than Argo CD, right? Because imagine, let's say that you're managing everything with ACK, and what would be your wild guess that how many resources in AWS an average company has? It's in thousands or tens of thousands, right? And I'm counting everything, subnets, VPCs, not only kind of big stuff like EKS clusters, right? That's thousands, tens of thousands, even 100,000 of resources. And that all managed through ACK, that can be a fair amount.
Okay. I'm going to try to reset my lighting again. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. Yet more stuff from EKS. And I think, there's also this IAM policy creation with IAM Policy Autopilot, a new open source MCP for builders. Have you ever tried to create an IAM policy by hand?
I did. And if I wouldn't be so ashamed to go to psychiatrist, I would have went after that.
Yeah. So supposedly there's now an autopilot for it. Not just a pilot or co-pilot, it's an autopilot. We'll see. See what happens.
Yeah. I mean, they're a nightmare, so kind of, I would really appreciate doing that in easier way.
Yep. Werner Vogels, I saw that this was his last talk at reInvent. I don't know if he's retiring. I haven't looked that far in, but he gave his 2026 predictions. I haven't read it yet because in typical Werner style, it is very long and he uses big words.
This is...
I need to finish drinking this before I
this is... this feels... It should be an audiobook for a long drive.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So it just keeps scrolling. There it goes, finally, to the bottom. But anyway, it's always a good read. Just maybe don't do it in one sitting. Just take your time. Okay. This next article, I'm going to bring it up. Building distributed apps, Akamai and Fermyon are changing the game. You know who Fermyon is, right?
Wasm.
Mm-hmm. Now, in fact, we've already recorded our year in review and our year ahead predictions. And, of course, we talked about WASM being for this year. This is the first, how do I say, anything worth talking about WASM all year.
Them being acquired by Akamai.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that's been worth talking about WASM all year, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that WASM found its niche, and it's going to stay there. And there is nothing wrong with that, just to be clear. But all those wild predictions from years ago, how it will kind of replace containers and stuff like that. That's not happening. That will not happen. There are use cases. That's cool, and it will stay there. That's my prediction.
The way I think about it, too, is Akamai has been on an acquisition tear for the past 3 years, 4 years, because they bought Linode. And most of that's been rolled in now. And so their next logical acquisition is going to be a small AI player. They already have compute.
But there are no small AI players if you're talking about money. It's not cheap there. You can buy Fermyon. You cannot buy a small...
I'm not saying yet. Because at some point the bottom will fall out.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not there yet. But anyway, okay. A note from Atlassian. This article was very interesting. They had a project called the Continuous Paths Recovery to improve all this stuff. And basically they talk about how they rewrote everything to simplify all their architecture.
Okay, that's impressive. That doesn't happen often. I'm very intrigued.
This is it's a great read. I read it last week, I think, is when I saw it first. So they go into the back and how they broke it down, because there's what it looked like. This was their dependency map to begin with. Does that look familiar to anyone?
Yeah, that's a typical microservice architecture.
Yeah, let me see. I can't remember if there was, again, it was last week. This was the tabletop exercise. So this was their dependency graph too. But again, it was, so they've rebuilt it into, and they also use CodeCommit. And you just think about, okay, here's the things that we use. Okay, well, these are fairly small: API gateway, some lambdas, event bridge scheduling, SQS, DLQ, dead level queue. They hook in Bitbucket and CodeCommit and blah, 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 EFS. This could have been a monolith. It didn't need to be. Anyway, it's a good read. This, unlike Werner's, this one's a lot easier to follow, but it's longer. But it's very interesting to read.
Okay.
Yeah. Also moved to OPA.
But whenever I see this is how complex it is, we're going to simplify it, that's very often worthwhile. But give it a couple of years. It'll
mutate again.
It will go back to where it was.
Yeah. Anyway,
it will be better, just to be clear, because those graphs don't necessarily show the quality. Yeah. But it always ends up being complex. Always.
Speaking of complexity, 135 is getting ready to come out. This is the early sysdig. Sysdig does the before and then the after. It doesn't appear to be big. It's mainly security, but there's other things too. Removing Secret V1.
Okay.
Because Secret V2 has only been out for a decade. It's funny to say. It's like it's been out for a decade. Let's get rid of the old stuff. Ensure secret pulled images.
Yeah.
This was the big one to me. Transition away from Speedy to WebSockets. Like finally get rid of Speedy completely. Kubelet serving validation, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then net new constrained impersonations, which is nice to do user impersonation. Yeah. Flags, Z for Kubernetes components, similar status C.
Yeah.
Host network pods to use user namespaces. CSI driver opt-in for that from the service field. And there's going to be a lot more too. But to me, the 135 doesn't seem as big, even stuff I've looked at.
I mean, Kubernetes is boring, and that's a good thing.
I know. But this is a lot of alpha stuff too, which is interesting but it's not like, to me, yes, it's alpha. Well, some betas too, but alphas today are not like the alphas of the past.
But they're also not, they changed the rules. They're not available in Kubernetes anymore. Unless you specifically opt in. I think that before, I might be wrong, but I think that in the past, when it reaches beta, it would be baked into Kubernetes. You would have to opt in for alpha. Now you opt in for both alpha and beta.
Alpha and beta, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
Which also makes sense, because kind of like we are not kind of like making breaking changes anymore. We are not making something never seen before. You're not experimenting. You're using this seriously, and then we should treat it as such, and that's awesome.
Okay, so we'll be looking out for that. It's been 1 year of MCPs.
Yeah.
Just 1 year.
It feels like it's been here forever, man.
It does, but it hasn't. So now they're announcing the next big thing of MCP. I can't imagine though. So here's my feeling, because it was Anthropic that announced MCPs, right? And that's good, but they've effectively replaced MCPs with skills.
I would argue no, because it's very different when something is a server potentially running somewhere, and when something is a set of files in your local file system.
Correct.
Right?
However,
very different.
Before skills came in, I had no choice but to use an MCP.
Yes.
which was more heavyweight. Whereas a
Yes.
skill, which we'll talk about later, if it covers my use case, I don't need an MCP server.
Correct. So let me rephrase it differently, right?
Okay.
If you want something for you, or maybe for that project only, and that's it. Kind of like, this is something that I need in this project, or my team needs in this project. Skills are so much easier, better, what's or not, right? And assuming that everybody in that project uses Claude Code. So those are quite a few assumptions there. And if those assumptions are fulfilled, you're better off with skills. Simply, you write a markdown file, you put a couple of scripts, off you go. Now, if you want to distribute that, let's say it could be multiple projects. It could be different client agents, because skills is supported only by Claude Code right now, maybe Claude Desktop. If you want to distribute it, if you want to run it remotely, and so on and so forth, then we're talking about MCP. And another important thing is that skills is the thing. MCP is the protocol, right? Skills would be more comparable in a way with MCP server itself, right? Which is whatever you want, than MCP protocol. So it's cool, yeah. If it works for you, if it's for this project, I need this, and everybody uses Claude, use skills. Don't go with MCP.
Yeah. But as soon as you need that, everybody needs to use it. Then.
Yeah.
And running an MCP server isn't that big of a deal. It's
yeah, I mean, it is a bit slower, and there are downsides. There are downsides with everything. But skills is not, there is no distribution mechanism, and it's not supported anywhere else.
Right. Okay. Anyway, we're talking about MCP, and then a couple of things from Anthropic. Anthropic acquiring Bun, which I thought was interesting. Bun is the JavaScript framework, which is the one I've been using to write have Claude Code write some stuff for me in, because I don't want to write TypeScript.
It's a very interesting acquire. It's a very interesting situation. I have a theory that that's mostly because they want to. I think that they use Bun with Claude Code, and I think that they want to be in a driver's seat.
Yeah.
For the sake of Claude Code, which makes kind of sense.
They want to make sure it doesn't go away, because they've bet their farm.
Yeah.
On that plumbing, so they're willing to take on that risk, if you will. And then Opus 4.5 came out. We talked about that because it came out, I think, the day before the last show. Have you had more time to work with it? How are you feeling about 4.5?
Opus,
yeah,
the best thing ever. Kind of. Again, I don't like those claims. Kind of, this is a no.
Okay,
it's just good. Kind of like.
Okay.
But. It's it's not that generation. Everybody claims, this is so much better. Kind of, this is generational leap. It's not. It is better than Sonnet 4.5, and it is currently the best model without doubt for any coding tasks, software engineering tasks, not necessarily only coding. Yeah, that's my take. I don't know for the rest. It might be best at everything. I honestly don't know, because I'm not writing novels with it. I'm not using it to calculate spreadsheets. I don't know those things. But for software engineering, it's without doubt the best model.
I'm still living in Haiku 4.5, and it's been great.
It's great, yeah.
I think I've had to go to Sonnet once, and I just don't feel like I need to go to Opus, because the answers are what I need.
But
so it's...
Imagine just the timeline that...
Oh, I know.
So Opus was the best model at the time.
Yeah.
And then the next release, then we get Sonnet 4.5.
Right. That was better.
Which beats Opus.
Yeah. 4.
And it's smaller model, just to be clear. So smaller model beats bigger model just because it's, half a year or few months younger. Now, then we got Haiku, which does not beat anybody, but it's very, very close to Sonnet 4.5, right? It's not as good, but almost.
But a lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper and faster.
And faster, yeah.
There is a lot in speed, kind of like, the faster we go, the more mistakes I can correct. It's good. And now we got Opus, which kind of leapfrogs Sonnet, and I can only guess that next Sonnet will be better than Opus. Kind of, It's insane.
It's, yeah. We were just talking about MCP servers. I saw this on Reddit. Yeah, okay. They haven't taken it down yet. It was in the Golang subreddit. Somebody has written an MCP server that hooks into your IntelliJ and Golang now editor. So you can use their ASTs and everything else as an MCP server. So even if you're using Claude Code, VS Code, whatever, you hook in this MCP server that connects to your IntelliJ IDE. They don't have all of them covered. And then it gets like, so here's the example, right? Before would be rename user data to fetch user data or user profile. Updates 15 files, misses 3 interface calls, everything breaks. Whereas now with the MCP server, it says renamed get user data and fetch user profile, updated 47 references across 18 files, including interface calls.
Why? Because it uses indexes from IntelliJ or
from IntelliJ, right? Because of the
to find. Okay,
correct. All the semantic features, find references, type hierarchies, call hierarchies, all these things.
That reminds me a lot on what Warp, the Warp terminal that is now agentic something.
Yeah.
They actually index your code base and store it in some kind of internal vector database for similar reasons, right? So AI can find it, find the parts.
But this is good because if you've got an IntelliJ IDE, a JetBrains IDE, IntelliJ being one of them, Golang being another. I put the link into the plugin just in case they took the Reddit down because Reddit can sometimes be aggressive in taking posts down. I thought this one was a good one to, I was hoping nobody would take it away.
Can I tell you where I spent significant amount of time this week?
Please do.
Splitting my source code into smaller files. That's what I've been doing.
That's okay. Why would you do that?
Because at least Claude Code, when it reads the file, if it's over 20K, I think, or something like that, in tokens.
You get the message saying larger than 25K.
Exactly. Exactly. And then it will start reading parts of the file and so on and so forth. And if it can find the file that is relevant, read the file, that's ideal situation, kind of like digest the whole, not whole code, but that code file, right? It makes it so much better, so much easier. I just had to spend time to do it.
Yeah. So did you have Claude rewrite it for you to break it
down? Of course it did. Of course it did. Come on, Darren. And especially since it's refactoring without changing functionality. So hey, run the tests, confirm everything works, refactor this into multiple files, run the same tests again. Tests need to continue working without any changes, right?
So all right, because I have this problem. There's a PR that I've got to work on, and I wrote something like 15,000. Claude wrote like 15,000 tests. It was doing time of day, sunrise, sunset calculations with
Claude.
with daylight saving time, right? So it was checking boundaries. And there's places in the world that don't observe daylight at all, and you have other places that are on the half hour in India. So I was testing all those cases. So it ended up being like close to 15,000 because I ran out for 50 years as well. So I was testing. Claude was doing all this. Yeah. And people came back. It's like, well, it sounds like you used AI to write these tests. I did. I was like, I did. So I said all that to say this. Did you first break down your tests into smaller files prior to actually having it refactored?
The other way around.
So you broke down the code first and then shortened
run the test, confirm that everything still works.
You just left the test as they were for now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you break them down. Okay.
Yeah. Now
that makes sense.
I've been changing the way how I do tests. I'm less and less focused on unit tests, to be clear, because I think that coding agents are doing horrible work with unit tests, and I'm more now thinking in terms of, because it also aligns more with how we code now, on kind of functional tests, kind of like this needs to work like this.
Yeah.
unit test just messes up. It creates kind of hundreds, thousands of unit tests that are completely worthless, right?
Which is what the people reviewing my PR said.
Yeah.
So I basically need to rip out all of the tests, write up a good spec for the test that I know that I want, and just have it write those, and then I'll add other edge cases in the future. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 tools. Actually, I'm going to skip the tools for a minute. So you had videos. You had Grumpy Coder 2 weeks ago, and this week was not base 44, but saying goodbye to local AI agents using KH.
Yeah. What's that on the screen? That's a commercial.
It's an
something.
ad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an
Okay, cool. Yeah. I wasn't very kind to K-Agent. I'm sorry, everybody. But that's how it feels. And Grumpy Coder, I already forgot what it is.
Let's see, what was it?
Gemini. Yeah, I wasn't kind. Oh, it was not very kind 2 weeks. I wasn't very kind to Gemini. And, I was basically saying, I don't think this is better than Sonnet. And when I say this, I mean the whole package. Gemini CLI plus Gemini model compared to Claude Code plus Sonnet model. And I don't feel it's that leap, right? We can argue whether it's slightly better or slightly worse, but this is not big of a difference. And then maybe 2 days after I released the video, Sonnet 4.5 announced, and kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm never doing videos like that again.
Yeah. So two quick tools. One that we'll get to. First one is GitLog, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll talk about the other one here in a second. Here's the thing on this. So GitLog is basically a screensaver for your Git repository. So if you're on a Mac, you can install. I mean, it's available pretty much everywhere. You can even install it using Nix. Are you still using Nix?
Through DevBox, yes, big fan.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what this is basically a screensaver. Now, fair warning: if you're using OLED, you gotta be careful because it could cause some burn-in. It's not a real screensaver. It doesn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I've got a repository here. It's actually our website repository. If I can type, I'm looking at the smaller. Okay, and if I type just GitLog itself, then it's time traveling back to 2022 for whatever date that was.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it's tracking what I typed and what I put in, when I put it in, based on the commits.
I love this. This is so awesome. It's such a pity that it's not a screensaver.
Well, it is, but it's not a true screensaver.
I mean, because kind of from what I've seen, those few seconds,
yeah,
there will be parts of the screen that will never change.
Yeah, and that's good. You can select different themes. You can change up the typing speed, but let's do a after. So let's just do what I've done over the past. It's not 26 yet. 11. I don't know, 21. Whoops, 21. So you can start at that point. So it's, again, you can see it's time traveling. It gets back to the commit, and then it starts going from there of what it did.
My God, I'm so. Please make it a valid screensaver so that I can use it as a screensaver. I haven't used screensaver like 15 years. I want to do screensaver now again. I love this.
This, to me, this would be the.
How often did I say I love this in this show? Almost never.
Almost never, yeah. So to me, what this is the new. If you were in the pointy hair boss offices, and you would be playing a game, and all of a sudden you hit a keystroke, and something comes up of typing, you could have this pop up instead, and it looks like it just you're just tapping away like this.
It should be making that sound, or we can record probably that and play it as well.
Yeah, but anyway, that's GitLog, and there's lots of different things you can do with it. You can configure it as well, so you don't have to just pass it in. So you can come up with your, and it does. It's not every language, but lots of languages.
Yeah,
Go is there,
really
and
cool.
Java is there, so that covers 95% of all. Well, in JavaScript, it covers 99% of all coding.
There is no Perl.
There is no Perl, interestingly enough. No. Okay. That is GitLog. Okay. And then this. You were talking about how bad the Gemini CLI is.
Yeah, Gemini. Yes.
Okay. So this is called Image Mage. It is a simple command line program to interact with the Gemini Image API. In other words, Nano Banana and the lower end.
Now it's called Gemini
3
Pro.
Pro. Yeah, Gemini 3 Pro image. And then you also have Flash image, which is the frugal, the smaller. This was done by Corey Quinn. Does that name sound familiar?
Yeah. That's one of the rare people that are pissed more than me in public.
In fact, he had a good post yesterday because he was at reInvent talking about how it was AWS and databases, and it wasn't very polite. He's like, oh, no, it was Redis. He was talking about Redis and how Redis did the rug pull and how that. I would have loved to see that video. In fact, hopefully AWS will post that video once it has been recorded. But basically, again, his writing style is because apparently Google decided that their Gemini's image generation API needed its own bloated CLI tool, presumably to hit some product manager's OKR about CLI adoption or developer engagement metric. Meanwhile, those of us who just want to generate or edit an image, blah, 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 without installing half of NPM, which of course, NPM has had that another hack rolling again, wondering why a simple API call requires more dependencies than a JavaScript project. So this is just a base Google app. You can install it using Brew.
If you read that first paragraph aloud without giving me the context, I would say, is that Corey?
Because it's very much his style.
Yeah.
No package managers, no dependency hell, no telemetry phoning home about your prompt for cyberpunk cat wearing sunglasses. Okay. So we're going to test this real quick. Since I am in here, there was, so you do the thing, you got to give it a key. I picked Gemini API key, but you can use any of the 4. And it's a simple app. I mean, if you were to take a look at the app, and it is MIT licensed, if you take a look at the app, here are basically the 4 commands, or excuse me, 4, good grief, I can't count, 8 commands, subcommands. Yeah. And then generate, you look at generate.
Is it like with a prompt or just kind of like CLI only?
CLI only.
Okay.
But if we take a look at, let's see. So here you can do, so I can do this, right? I'll say this. And since I didn't, what did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot the closing quotes.
Closing quotes, yeah.
So you can see it's using it's going to 4K Gemini 3 Pro image preview, which is the expensive one, which I've already spent $1 because I put a $2 budget on it because I was building images for the podcast yesterday, just because I'm putting it in my workflow. Remember the images that you hated that we didn't have people's faces and stuff on? Well, I went back to that just to see what one episode would look like. It was for the review episode, I think. Mm-hmm. It's fine, right? It's a calendar thing. So that sort of made context for us. It was just us, so it didn't make a difference. So now I can say open watercolor painting of a forest, blah, 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 and I pull it over here, and there it is. Okay, so nice. Mm-hmm. That was the generate. Now what I want to do is I actually want to edit that.
Oh, that's why I was asking whether there is a prompt or something like that. Okay, so you can continue working on the picture. Correct.
So,
yes.
Now I say edit help, just so you can see it.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, edit, because I haven't done this by hand yet, I don't think. Edit, watercolor that. And I'm going to say, instead of white snow, I want yellow snow. Just make sure the fox isn't eating it.
Or box.
Huh? A box.
Or box.
Okay. Whoops. 2 args.
I think it's without.
I don't need the dash I. You just give it the image. Yeah. I did it wrong. And there's again 6 other prompts, or excuse me, 6 other subcommands as well. Then I want to show you one more thing in case anybody's using Claude Code. You might find, at least as a good starting point. So if I do this, now it's going to overwrite the image because I did not tell it to. Oh wait, does it? I can't remember if it overwrites. We'll see in a second. And if I do frugal, I'll do frugal in just a second, just so you can see the difference in quality. Thinking. So I did this for one of the other ones, and there was like a person on top of a mountain. I said, take the person off the mountain. And it did. It was exactly the same.
Yeah. I was ready to complain how this might not give you the ability to continue working on the same image, because that's the main feature, kind of. That's what this thing... I don't know how other image generator AIs are now, but in the past, every time you type something, it's a new image. That was so silly. Very cool.
So here's edited. And yeah, so there's that one.
There we go.
Right? A little bit of yellow. There we go. His head's up a little bit versus here. It's about the same. So if you were to compare that, I wish I could do a better side-by-side here.
Very cool.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, just so we can see it, I'm going to do a frugal of this. And then we'll take a look at the notes again, because there is one thing I do want to show you. Go back to the generate here and just do -- frugal, and that'll pick the cheaper model. Oh, crud. I did the silly thing. There's frugal. And you can see it switched down to the 2.5. And it's also not doing 4K by default in this case. It's just quicker, right? So that's fine. So if I say open watercolor painting of a fox in that, a lot less. But not horrible.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's good to... I use a couple of times the fast one just to kind of figure out what I want and then start over.
Right. Also, there's one other thing here, too. Actually, there's more than one thing. So you can specify styles. You can specify, and this is just for generate. You can also specify slides, optimized for presentation slides. Mm-hmm. You can store the prompt if you want to. Mm-hmm. Pass in specific aspect ratios. That's one thing it calls here. Using aspect ratio instead of mentioning dimensions in your prompt. The model's terrible at understanding. Make it 1020 by 1080, 1920 by 1080, but understand 16 by 9.
Yep.
Edit command.
I can confirm that.
Okay, good. Here's your edit command. We already played with that. There's restore. So if you're trying to restore an old photo, icon, so it'll generate icons. I can confirm that works because I played with that. Patterns, if you just need to generate patterns. Mm-hmm. Story. What we can do here is it will generate a series of pictures, 4 frames specifically, of a seed growing into a tree.
Yeah. You know what's that good for? Apart from obvious, for video generation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Diagrams. It'll do architecture flowcharts, sequence, ERs. That's pretty much it.
So how I was complaining about Gemini for coding compared to Anthropic?
Yeah.
For image and video? Come on.
Nothing step.
No.
It's not even close. Now, I want to call out one thing here. If you take a look at the issues, just saying thanks and a Claude Code skill. So basically, this guy wrote a Claude Code skill. Going back to our skill conversation earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I have here, make sure I've got it on this machine. Hang on. Unset CI. Now my colors are right. What skills do I have to work with? Here's the problem with having AI write everything. My typing skills have gotten a lot worse. So I actually took this skill and put it in Claude.
Yeah.
So what I can say here is create an image of, let's try this, Victor Farsick sitting on a beach, sipping, how do you even spell Mai Tai? Margarita. I can spell margarita. I can't spell margarita. I mean,
I don't know, gin tonic.
Gin and tonic. Okay. Don't be frugal. Let's see if it understands that. Obviously, I thought real long and hard about that. Do I want to proceed? Sure. Now, I will say, this is the only place I have this skill installed. Image, a distinguished man with dark hair and a beard sitting on a pristine tropical beach. Dude, okay, here. Well, let's just see what happens.
Okay, I'm not a celebrity.
Right. We'll have to
For it to know me.
Oh. And then I would go back and tell the story. What was the one I was saying before? We were talking about making videos. What was the one I said? That was generate, wasn't it? No, it wasn't generate. My days are running together. Oh, story. Okay. Oh, this is what we'll do. Okay, so I'll need to open this. So open. So let's see what you look at. Well, okay, so Victor, this is now you.
Oh, this is quite an improvement, man.
Okay.
I like myself better now.
Okay, so let's do this. And I've got somebody coming to the house in just a minute, so I'm going to have to finish up quickly. Use, starting with this image, create me a story of 4 frames of Victor walking around the beach looking at sharks.
Oh, will it use frugal now?
It'll be interesting to see what it does. I don't think so. But no, it did switch over to story here.
Yeah.
Which is a heck of a lot easier than me. And it remembered the image. So it's probably going to regenerate it instead of using this because I can't feed it the original image. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight that too hard, but I didn't hit enter.
Yeah.
I just think this is beyond cool that I can do this from a very easy way and not have to.
Yeah, I think that the key is there. Now it is easier to integrate it with whichever agent you're using, like Claude Code, right?
Correct.
Because at least in my case, it's never only the image, right? It's stuff.
But if you were to take a look and try to understand the skill, because that's what I was trying to do, is just really try to understand what they were doing in the skill. Basically, it's just this README with some extra information in it. That's all he did. And that's why I splattered in there. There's a gist that has the full raw that you can take and just paste in as your skill.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Related to skills.
Did you turn your camera off?
No, I don't know. Okay. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, so the question related to skills. I feel it's easier for me not to type it, but to execute /command.
Yes, which is what I did.
Sometimes no, sometimes kind of like, hey, it finds from the context, we just executed CI failed, let me execute this skill to actually analyze all of that. That seems valid to me. But if for those cases, I would like /image, not type.
So this is what I'm working on for the podcast side. Is I actually am writing out this whole big skill for processing the episode, but I have a lightweight command that I can say /episode and then say create image or /episode edit something, whatever it is. So I have a lightweight wrapper, so I know it's going to be fed that way.
But the major difference between skill and slash command is that it's treating it as a tool. You type something and it figures out whether to use skill. But if you already type slash command, then actually it's more effective for you to have everything in that command.
In that command, correct.
Yeah, because that's the major difference, really.
Yeah. Okay, am I in a... Nope, there it is. So we'll let this be it. Let me find here's the story frames. I will open them up. Open with preview, because I'm going to do all 4 of them. Okay, here we go. I think you got even better looking now.
Hey, I'm improving as I age, man.
So
the older I get, the better I'm looking.
Different hair. And
okay.
Not
Not necessarily exactly the same person, but
no.
fair enough.
Well, and again, I should have. We did this live.
Yeah, I mean, it's even images you don't one shot it.
Yeah. So anyway, this CLI, again, lightweight, single binary. Get a key and off you go.
I love it.
It's good.
Thanks, Scotty.
Yep. Sorry, we did not get to anything over here. Yeah, we're not so much AMA on these days unless we run out of things to say. And then, look, my generator went out, and I've got to get my generator fixed. That's who's coming today, so I've got to go get it dealt with. Anyway,
You see, there is this comment. That's what I'm afraid. It's very hard.
no,
If
you have to.
would-
So there's 2 different streams. You got to be on the right stream. So
I
there's
know,
just-
but noticing that icon for a user is difficult.
it's useless.
But I would like YouTube to just kind of figure it out. One stream from the user perspective, figure out is
Right.
is
It's
this
like, hey,
mobile or
there's
desktop?
another stream over here that you might want
Yeah.
to see instead. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Java. I think that one comment just got me to the point to where we're just going to say, forget it. We're just going to do standard YouTube streaming and be done with it. Or if we're going to do something live from our phones, we'll just do it portrait at that point. That's the way I feel, especially screen sharing. You're right. So anyway, we'll be back next week. We'll pull together some more stuff. I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to start getting quiet, really quiet now that Reinventing is done. Because that's the last big thing of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
I'm going to go talk to my generator guy. So everybody have a great week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
yeah.